Thank you for tuning in to my channel, where I talk about my favorite thing in the world, voiceover. Today, we are going to talk about artist developers for voiceover, what they are, what to look for in one, as well as some red flags that you may encounter in the industry. So, there are 10 points that I want to go over today and 6 red flags at the end. So let's jump into it and get started. The first point that I would like to go over is that artist developers teach you voiceover as well as the business of the voiceover industry. Since the artist developer is often working in the industry, or they have in the past, they have an up-to-date idea of what the industry is currently looking for. In addition to this, they can use the connections that they have to help you get into the industry as well. Different connections include agents, recording studios, as well as different companies to work for, like animation or video game companies. Artist developers can also introduce you to their students as well, so you can start building your community of voiceover friends. And of course, they'll teach you different voice acting techniques, from improv, warm-ups, into how emote from the words in the script. Another point is that the artist developer sometimes has their own professional recording studio, or they can refer you to a professional recording studio that's in your area. Whether you're nearby or out of state, the artist developer will be able to have the resources to help you find the studio that's right for you. Also, the artist developer will be able to refer you for a good rate for your different demo reels and voiceover projects in the future. In addition to this, the voiceover artist developer can teach you how to record economically, whether it be in different sections broken up, sessions, and also, different tips on how to record, whether it's being the first one in the recording studio of the day or to bring your snacks and stuff like that. Also, an artist developer should have a working website. This really shows their professionalism. They should have a bio, like a brief description of who they are, their specialties, what they've done, and their affiliations and stuff. Also, the artist developer should definitely have their contact information in the form of their business name, their email, their address, and their phone number. The artist developer should also have the studio policy and registration form online so you can have an idea of what you're getting into for the class before you fully commit. As well as this, an artist developer should have a list of students so you can see what the students have accomplished being tutored by that artist developer. Also, an artist developer sometimes has their own books online that you can buy, as well as a YouTube channel where they have different mini videos. Number 4 is that an artist developer offers different avenues for your classes. It shouldn't only be in person. They should be able to teach you online as well. It could be, in person if you'd like, at their office. Sometimes people like to do it from their home. I personally do it online. And also, they should have different ways to do that. Not only Zoom, but maybe Facebook or something like that, so you have different options. And an artist developer will be able to help you whether you're close by or far away, seeing as, they should have the online options as well. Once again, it may be a red flag if they are only saying that they can teach you in person. We'll go over more red flags towards the end of this episode. Number 5 is that an artist developer really should have website and technological skills. So computers, updates, and stuff like that, as well as using an external drive when you're using a lot of memory for your projects and for downloading sound effects and music. The artist developer can also create your own website with you and teach you how to update it and to link your demo reels that you record, as well as the YouTube channel that you may have in the future. The artist developer should also be familiar with SEO optimization. That stands for search engine optimization. So that's using keywords that will help people online find you better. Also, they would be able to help you learn about marketing, seeing what platforms work for you and what don't, whether it be for marketing yourself or looking for jobs through Backstage or something like that. Number 6 is that they should have a Google listing. They should have 5-star reviews as well on things like Yelp and Thumbtack and different websites that have good reviews and are reputable. It's important that they have a Google listing and it's listed as a business and not a personal contact because it shows that they are professional, credible, and they have the proper contact information. Any of these things are missing, it might be a scam. And in regards to the different reviews, it's also good to take into account how many reviews that they have. It might not be a good idea to go with someone that just has 3 with all 3 5 stars rather than someone with like 50 or more with just a couple poor reviews, because sometimes it could be a disgruntled student or a competition or something like that. So it's good to like see the whole picture and stuff like that. Read those reviews. Number 7 is that they should be on faculty with a reputable university and or be able to offer other classes that could have different certifications and that are related to voiceover. The classes that I took are certified by the University of West London because that's the school that my artist developer is affiliated with. I've been able to get certifications for dialects, lob and effort, and pitch Bible. So in addition to learning so much and being able to use that in my arsenal of skills, I also have it looking really nice on my website and in my resumes, seeing as I'm new and I don't have that many jobs under my belt yet. Also, they should have an ongoing relationship with them as well because that just shows that they're a professional. And they could be teaching other courses like the ones that I mentioned. Some people also like to take singing courses. It also helps with learning the placement. I personally want to take singing courses in the future because I think it would be really awesome to have my different animated characters sing because that's something that I love in different cartoons and stuff. Anyways, it's also other options like say so far personal artist developer isn't in your budget or isn't in something that you want to do right now. There are like community colleges that do different broadcasting degrees and you can have different like maybe another voiceover class or 2 that you can add. And if that's more in your budget, as long as you are learning and following your dreams, this video is to show you what's out there. And it's what I'm familiar with because I'm personally working with an artist developer. I like the one-on-one attention that I get because I have a lot of questions. And I also like to be the only one in there in the class at the time because it helps me focus better. Also, we're going to go on to number 8 now. Number 8 is that they offer different lengths of lessons because not everybody can afford to do the same time. So different times they can offer 30 minutes, 1 hour, which is what I do, or 90 minutes, or sometimes even more if you're really up to it. When I take my certification classes, I boost it to 2 hours so I can just get the highest grade. Anyways, on that note, sometimes different voiceover artist developers can give you like deals, like referral programs or something like that. And so that's something that you can do and ask about. For me, investing in classes at first was really nerve-wracking. I'm prone to anxiety, so I had a couple panic attacks because I had things like, oh, what if it's a scam was probably the biggest one. So that's why I did a lot of research and included all of what I've learned in this video. So maybe you won't have to be as anxious as I was. Also, it's hard for me to invest in myself monetarily wise because I'm a little frugal. And when I'm not, I'm extremely into like Barnes & Noble and GameStop. That's another tangent. But an artist developer can help you work with the situation that you're at and help you find lengths of lessons that are good for you. So, yeah. And number 9 is kind of backs onto this, is that an artist developer helps you grow as a voiceover artist. And it's not always in terms of learning exercises or voiceover techniques. It's also like creating game plans, helping you identify your goals, creating those big ultimate goals. Like for me, to work with Illumination is my ultimate goal ever in the whole world, and different video game companies too. So my voiceover artist, from day one, I told them that's what I want to do. Illumination are my people. That's what I want to do. So we were able to really set up a great game plan that had me really excited for that big goal and not so overwhelmed, because my artist developer and I broke it down into small goals. We looked for what that company looks for. So what should I be prepared for? So stuff like, pitch Bibles coming up. That means like coming up with your own TV series. I created one for my favorite character. And so I have it in the format that once I get an agent, I can pitch it to different companies and get that going. So yes, they can help you. And in addition to having you come up with goals, they also usually carve out the time to help you when you're nervous or when you're doubting yourself and stuff like that. My artist developer also recommended a lot of books. The biggest impactful one was Artist's Way. And in the next video, I'm going to go over 5 books that I love, and that's definitely one of them. So please stay tuned for that one. And an artist developer can help you deal with the stress that you're encountering now in your class and prepare you for the stress that's to come when you're actually in the industry, because oftentimes your time frame for getting things done, your deadlines are a lot shorter than the classes that you're taking, or just the additional classes you're taking as well. And different techniques that we talked about, because of course they're going to teach you. One big one that I loved is that the voice follows the body. One instance I had trouble with when I was newer, I was recording my demo reel for my elephant character, who was a ballerina, and she didn't really have the best balance. So I was trying to do the voice by like sitting still, and once I learned that maybe like learn to fall over, the voice kind of mimics and has the audience listen, and once, especially if it's matched with the video, and believe that they're falling down. So stuff like that. And also another one that I like to do is that finding something dense, like maybe like a recipe, or I'm a nerd, so I have different textbooks, like psychology is one of my special interests. So I'll get in one of my big dense textbooks and read it with different emotion. Like I'll write down, my artist developer taught me about writing down a different emotion on a scrap of paper, and you could do it with your friends too, and you could do it by yourself. And then pick out the picture or the piece of paper from the hat, and then pick that excerpt and read it, whether it's sad, happy. It's really, really fun. Also really helped me get out of my comfort zone, because for whatever reason, I was embarrassed to be silly. And honestly, things go really, really well as a voiceover artist if you are a silly goose. Once again, I'm going to bring up my favorite quote by Tara Strong. And she says, "Don't be afraid to look silly." That's something that I love. And so when an artist developer helps you learn to become a better artist, you guys are going to be able to build a level of trust and respect for each other that really helps your creativity grow, and you have that confidence and that feeling of like safety and freedom, being able to express yourself and not being nervous to be wrong. And number 10 is going to be the last point we're going over today, and what to look for an artist developer. And it's going to be how they give you critiques and not criticism. So I recently learned the difference between a critique and criticism, so I would like to share that with you. So I wrote it down. Criticism is when they are only stating the negative things of what you're doing, like saying what you're doing is wrong and not giving you any solutions or feedback on how to improve. And whether it's written or said in a very calm and maybe cold or casual tone, or whether it's really harsh, criticism over critiques, criticism is not very helpful for my mental health or for my creative process. So once I found my artist developer giving critiques, which we'll go over in a minute, and not criticism, I was hooked, and that really started helping me build the level of trust and respect with them. So critiques is honest opinions about your work, and it's not going to be sugar-coated or changed whether they like you or not, or dislike you. They'll probably love you. And they'll be able to give you feedback on what to do. So they also point out what you have done right and what they love about what you're working on. And they'll also tell you your weak points. So what I learned in one of the books, we'll go over in the next episode again, is that once you identify your weak points, your strong points become that much more interesting and fun. And that's true in my experience too. So A good artist developer will not be harsh when they're giving you critiques either. They'll be very respectful and they'll get to know you better. So for me, sometimes I'm a little sensitive. So since I've been working with my artist developer for a while, he's gone the extra mile to get to know me. So depending on how I'm feeling that day, he can be like really straight to the point, like, Sam, I know you can do better in this, this, and this. And then other times he'll lead with the good points and see how I'm feeling and then go and say, you know what, I see what you're going for here, but let's try to add a little more emotion, or let's not be afraid to be one of my biggest problems is having a villain character because I'm very, very sweet and it's hard for me to be mean. So I could talk about that kind of stuff forever, but that's where we're going to stop for the 10 qualities of a voiceover artist developer. So now I'm going to put a little slide with all the different 10 points again, and we're going to jump into the red flags that you can encounter when looking for an artist developer. Now I feel we should talk about 6 red flags that you could encounter while you're looking for an artist developer. So, number 1 is bullying. That would be constant criticism, no solution, so no critiques, only criticism. That includes like name calling, saying that you're dumb, or saying that you are hopeless, saying that you won't make it in the industry, or saying that you would make it in the industry, but only if you're with them and only them. If they're controlling, and if they cross boundaries. Another one is harassment. That could be like physical touch or being explicit verbally, different innuendos, different really inappropriate conversations or name calling, saying that you would be able to get further in the industry if you do X, Y, Z with them. So once again, cross boundaries and just completely inappropriate. And another thing is, we could talk about ethics. A voiceover artist developer should never date a student. That's very inappropriate. Another red flag, number 3, is that they only teach at home. They have no other option but for you to go to them into their house. That could be dangerous, and no one should be pressuring you in that way. And you should always feel comfortable and be able to do an online option. Also, another one is that if they are tardy or excessively absent with no warning or with no makeup lesson available to you, an artist developer should lead by example. They don't want you to be tardy, so why should they? Also, if they're tardy, how dedicated are they to teaching you, to the industry themselves? I think it's completely unprofessional, and I would not want to learn from someone who is unprofessional like that. And another red flag, number 5, is that they have no proper representation on the internet. So that includes like saying that they're not a business, or they don't have their number or their address. If they have their number and it's only like a personal voicemail, not really a business voicemail saying that what they're doing, that's kind of a red flag. And they should have a registration form and stuff like that so you can see ahead of time. You shouldn't have to pay in order to see if you're going to take the class. And the last red flag, number 6, is additional fees. If they are saying randomly throughout the class with no justification that you need to pay more money or that their rates went up, that's very sketchy and most could be a scam. That's definitely a red flag. They should not increase their rate without warning or include any fees, mandatory fees, that are not included in the registration form and syllabus and stuff like that. So that are the red flags, and we'll put them on the screen for a little bit so you can see them again. Thank you for watching my video about what an artist developer is, what to look for in them, and 6 different red flags that you could encounter. There are going to be many more really awesome videos soon to come, so please like and subscribe to my channel so you can get updates. Thank you so much for watching. It's been really fun.